Welcome to Math092 Introductory Algebra Online, and what I'd like to do right now is walk you through sort of what's going to make you most successful in this course and how should you be successfully completing this online course. So what you'll find on the Canvas home page here is the Start Here button. Which is really something that you'll click through just usually the first week, and this will provide you with the course syllabus, syllabus quiz. It'll also provide you with a checklist of things to do, for example, a readiness online quiz or other things that you have to complete within that first week. It also gives you access to my information and some things about the course overall, some expectations and things like that, how to get your materials. So really how to get started, hence the name Start Here. The middle icon right here is your course syllabus, which is a PDF, so you can access that at any time. At the end of the syllabus is a really helpful calendar. So for you visual people like myself, I think it's really nice to see what is due each day in visual form. And then this is just a link to WebAssign, so where we will be doing all of our mathematics, and so that's just webassign.net. But you can certainly link it here. What I think students don't click on often enough, and sometimes I put this course materials button right at the top, so after this first week, it's pretty much the only thing that we need from this page unless you want to access the syllabus. So in this course materials page, what you will notice is it's going to tell us what we need to do for each week. So for example, it gives me a weekly breakdown of basically how I'm supposed to learn the content. So I'm supposed to read, watch, and then do. And so what I'll notice here is if I kind of follow along with this schedule, I should be okay. I did put some tutorials on here, so if you never have used WebAssign in the past, this will help you, and each tutorial tells you specifically what it's going to help you with. And then down below, I think this is the part where students miss it, and I will also often email this to you, whether it's in an announcement or in a separate email, but these are the videos where you will be learning the content for each week. So for example, in week 1 we have a syllabus quiz due, we have readiness survey results, and depending on the semester, the week 1 dues, what is due that week might change. But for this example, this is what's due. Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. And so it doesn't necessarily tell me what about Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, but the syllabus does provide you with more information. There's basically a homework assignment and a quiz for each chapter or each unit here. So if I click on Chapter 1, what it does is open up a PDF that I'll see right here of all the videos that I have gone through personally and either found or created. And these videos are just links to different videos. These video lectures here in the left column are basically if you were to replace class, what would that look like with a video? Meaning, what would that look like? Well, here it is. So multiplying fractions, dividing signed fractions, adding and subtracting fractions. So it not only goes through the example of the problem, but it also goes through the concept and why you're doing what you're doing. So these would basically replace any in-class lecture. For the most part, these are anywhere from 7 to 10-minute videos. They are not 30 minutes or 60 minutes long. These video examples, the reason I separated them are because they're a little bit more like you coming to class and saying, Professor, I had a problem with number 18. Well, number 18 might have been multiplying 3 signed fractions, so they just go through that problem or a couple problems with the same type, but don't really give the background information to it. So these would be like coming to class and saying, hey, I struggled with adding 3 or more integers, and that video is going to give it to you. I did also say what sections from the book they are aligned to, just so you can get an idea. And it is a good thing to know, what are you going to be expected to do? So I talk about the chapter up at the top and what you are supposed to do. And then here are the objectives. So at the completion of the unit, what should you be able to do? And you can use that as a checklist for yourself of, can I add, subtract, multiply, and divide with fractions and integers? Can I evaluate exponential expressions? So as you're solving for your, or excuse me, preparing for your test, this list of objectives would be something that I would come back to and make sure that you can do all of the things on here. And again, this is for each chapter. Or each section of the chapter, if you will, and that's available for you. So that's what each of these PDFs are. And I made them as PDFs that way you could save them all week one, let's say, to your desktop and keep them accessible. That way, even if you're not in this Canvas course, or even if it's not this semester, you still have access to these because they are yours. So I recommend saving these and downloading them so you have access to them anytime. You obviously have to be connected to the internet to use them, but because they are just links to videos. But that way you would at least have them saved forever. And then the final exam is not necessarily a new PDF. That just links you to a new page where I provide you with some extra practice for your final exam as well as information for your final exam. So I think this course materials button, which again is just on the home page of Canvas, is something that maybe students don't feel like is quite as important, but that's how you learn all the material. So I really do want to put the emphasis on that as well. Each week you will be sent an announcement. And that announcement might have important information of what's due that week, or it might also have your passwords for quizzes. And since quizzes are timed, meaning once you open them, your clock starts ticking. If you close it, the clock is still ticking. So because of that, I like to put a password on quizzes so students don't accidentally click it and have their time run out. So you'll know when you're ready for a quiz. Discussions. So I have listened to the survey responses, and students have not felt like the discussions have furthered their knowledge and content knowledge anymore in the course. So I have just recently taken those out of this course. But if you did have any discussions, they would be in there. Your grades are not housed in here. They are housed in WebAssign. But you can also click on syllabus here, and there is your syllabus. Now, in WebAssign is where you will do all of your assessing of the mathematics. So in WebAssign, here is what the WebAssign will look like. And what happens is, I'm looking at this and viewing it before the first day of the class. So for example, there are no assignments showing up, but as soon as the first day of class starts and you're in WebAssign, you will see a list of assignments here. Your grades will be right here. And that, once you begin, will be clickable. Please note your grade in WebAssign only updates after something is due. And then below your grade, you will see personal study plan, which are practice quizzes by the chapter or by the section. And I go through all this in the WebAssign video as well. And then you have extra resources here in your Tussie book. So I'll make sure all of those are enabled once the class starts. View My Class Insights is also something that's relatively new, and this will help you prepare for a final exam or each individual test, because even if you got a problem right, it gives you a caution flag. If, for example, it took you 5 attempts to get that problem right, it's going to remind you, hey, you might want to study this question. But looking back at the Canvas page, I hope this addresses your questions on how should you be learning the content and what should you be doing to set yourself up for success. Approximately 6 to 9 hours per week is spent in an online 3-credit-hour course, and since we are a condensed summer course, you probably will find that you spend much more than 6 to 9 hours a week. But again, it depends on your comfortability with the material and just your overall knowledge of some of the chapter 1, for example, might not take you as long as chapter 2 or chapter 4, etc. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I am always available and here to help you succeed, but I hope you find that helpful.